the ascomycetes. Let's start with ascomycetes. So the name of the fungi is after the name of the fungi is after this spore, right? So basically, they are the ascospore, and ascospore is found inside a body, and that body or that structure is called ascus, right? And I have already told you that every ascus must contain 4 to 8 ascospore, right? And they are the sexual spore. So that's why we call this fungi ascomycetes. Fine. And then I told you that this is a morcella, or normally they are called morels. So morcella or morels are the representative member of this kingdom. Fine. And many interesting or many useful fungi are the part of this kingdom, ascomycetes. I'll tell you there while teaching you example, right? So before going into that, let's discuss. Did you all done the or tried for the assignment what I have given to you in last class?
Yes, sir.
I got the assignment from the Siddhika. My team has shared with me. And what about the others? Martin, did you attempt the question? Yashim,
Yes.
Sarah, Nabiha. Okay, Sarah have given the test. Fine. Basically, this was the assignment. Kingdom protest, Kingdom fungi. This was the assignment. So here the first question was. So let's discuss first the assignment. Then I will start you teaching. Right? First discuss this one. Or no, first finish this chapter. Then we will right. Then it will be okay for us. So first do this ascomycetes because I have started with that. Right. So let's start with the ascomycetes. So this is the morel or morcella. So it's a part of ascomycetes. Fine. So the mycelium. First talk about the general characteristics. Uh, they include very interesting. That is the question basically. They include pigmented mold. What does it mean? Pigmented mold. Normally, you must have seen that fungi are of white color, like the color of the mushroom. But there are fungi which belongs to this kingdom. They are colored. That's why we call them pigmented mold. Mold means fungi. Pigmented means colored. So they are pigmented, called pigmented molds, right? And maybe of brown, green, brown, green, pink, or blue color. Blue or pink color. So what you have to remember that pigment ascomycetes are called pigmented mold. Why? Because they are colored. Rest of the fungi are white. They do not have any color, right? So they may be so what kind of the nutrition they have? They may be saprophyte. They may be nutritionally. They may be nutritionally, saprophytic, decomposer, caprophilus, or parasite. Right? So that kind of the nutrition. Right? Mycelium may be septate, and you know that what is a septate? A septate are
Sir,
yes.
what is caprophilus?
Sorry. Okay, very good. Good question. What is a caprophilus? Any one of you? Caprophilus. Let me explain over here. Look. Basically, those one more important thing, like uh, what kind of the organism rabbit is?
Terrestrial.
Sorry,
Terrestrial.
they're cute. Okay. So, do you have any rabbit or not?
Not okay.
Okay, very good. And do not bring it at your home because they'll they'll whatever I am going to tell you, that will override their cuteness. Fine. They are caprophilus. Why? They eat their own stool. Now you can understand how dirty they are, how bad they are. They eat their own stool. Why? To redigest the cellulose, right? So they we can call the rabbit are caprophilus. Caprophilus are those kind of the organism. Either they eat the dung or they grow on the dung, right? When we use I'm sorry, one more thing. There is a very minute difference. Caprophagus is a term for the animal. Try to understand. I'm giving you some extra point. Caprophagus is the term for animal for those animal which eat their own stool, like rabbit is a caprophagus. Caprophilus, only phagus and philus, that is the difference. Caprophilus is the term for this fungus because they grow on the dung. You must have seen the cow dung, buffalo dung. On the dung, there is a fungus, right? So that is caprophilus. Let me write it down. Capro. Did you got that my point? Are they still cute? Fungi.
Sir, I never said.
Are fungi which grow on dung, right? So caprophilus means they grow on the dung, right? Okay. Then they have septate mycelium. They have septate mycelium. Only yeast is exception. Yeast is exception. That is a question. Do you know yeast? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeast are unicellular, means they are just made up of one cell. Yeast are unicellular fungi. This is the fungi. This is the same yeast which you use to make the cake, to make the bread, that baking industry, brewery industry, right? Yeast is used to make the alcohol, beer, and yeast is also used to make the bread and in bakery industry, right? This is the same yeast, right? So that is a type of fungi that is sold in the market in the form of the powder. What you do when you put that yeast in your dough and or atta, so when you keep that yeast over there and put the water and sugar over there, it will start multiplying. It will start growing. It produces the carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide production makes the dough soft, right? That's why we use the yeast. Fine. So it start degrading the glucose part of the that atta, flour, or whatever the component in which you mix it, right? They have, so the mycelium is septate, but they have septa have the septa have central pore. I have already discussed with you what is the central pore. Septa have central pore, right? And so you can call that this is partially septic. Partially septate. So we can say mycelium is partially septate, right? And cell wall is made up of same. Ideally, cell wall is made up of chitin. Cell wall is made up of chitin, made up of chitin. So chitin, we know that chitin is also known as the fungal cellulose. Fungal cellulose. So this is the component of the chitin, and we know that the chitin is of that is a kind of the sugar only. Fine. Now the next point is that motile structure are absent. Means they do not have motile spores. Motile structure are absent from life cycle, right? Next, majority of ascomycetes, they have asexual reproduction, mode of asexual reproduction. Majority of ascomycetes. Is it legible, whatever I am writing? Keep on telling me.
Yes, sir.
The majority of ascomycetes have common mode of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction through formation of conidia. Now, what is the conidia? Formation of conidia. So basically, conidia are a type of asexual spores, right? And they grow on conidiophore, right? So let me draw the structure of the conidia, right? What are the conidia or conidiophore? I think I have told you. So conidia basically, suppose that it's a fungi, it's a hypha of fungi, right? So this is septate. Now what will happen at the top of the hypha? Suppose that this is horizontal hypha, and as we have discussed, it is septate, so it should be septate or partially septate, right? And at the top part, that top part becomes spherical, right? That top of the part that becomes spherical, and it is this spherical part. So this kind of the structures are formed. These structures are called conidia, right? They are called conidia. And the branch or the hypha, vertical hypha that bear the conidia, I have already told you. We have to use the four term for that, right? So what we call that? Conidiophore. Conidiophore. Conidiophore means the branch which bear the conidia is called conidiophore, technically, right? So conidia, they are exogenous spore, and means they are produced externally. Endogenous, which are produced internally. So conidia, that is a spore, and Example, where the conidia are formed. Example, you need to remember. Example is penicillium. Do you know this fungus, penicillium? Any one of you?
Yes, sir.
What is the utility of this fungus? Penicillium notatum, basically. That is complete name. From Penicillium notatum, we extract something. What we extract? Come on, tell me.
Medicine.
Very good. Medicine. What kind of the medicine? Add on something. Aspergillus. Basically, the penicillin is a kind of antibiotic medicine. It is extracted from penicillium, from this fungus. Penicillium or penicillin is the first antibiotic discovered, right? And that has been extracted by, what are the antibiotic? Antibiotics are those chemicals which kill the bacteria, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we have talked about the asexual reproduction. Now let's talk about the sexual reproduction. Sexual. Sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction takes place. It takes place by the fusion of cells, right? Fusion of cells. Uh, Comma, gametangial contact. Gametangial contact, right? So, what is the fusion of cell or gametangial contact? Let me tell you what is the somatic cell fusion or gametangial contact. So, gametangial contact we have discussed once, right? And somatic cell fusion that I also tell you. So, there are two methods of the sexual reproduction which we discussed. So, discuss one by one. First, the fusion of the cell. In fusion of cell, what happened? Simple. From the name itself, it represents that it is a hypha. And there is another hypha. There are two different kind of the hypha of same fungi, but genetically they should be different. Normally, how does it take place? So these cells get fused. So suppose that the top of the cell gets fused. So this is another hypha. Look, now the top of the cell, it contain the uh, uh, double nucleus, two nucleus, right? So look, these are these hypha which fuses by in somatic fusion, right? So these are called primary hypha. What we call them? We call them primary mycelium or primary hypha. Primary mycelium. After the fusion of primary mycelium, you can call it positive, you can call it negative. The formation of secondary mycelium tape, right? Here in the primary mycelium, there are only one nucleus in one cell, right? So we call it monokaryote. So primary mycelium is monokaryote, right? Secondary mycelium, the two nucleus are present, so we will call it dikaryote. Di Is that clear to all of you or not? Tell me. Fusion of cells, clear?
Yes, sir.
This fusion of cell is technically also known as the somatogamy. It is also called somatogamy. So first kind of the sexual reproduction, that is the first kind of the sexual reproduction. Second kind of the sexual reproduction. So first I have told you that is the fusion of the cell. What is the second? Gametangial contact. Gametangial contact we have already discussed, but let's discuss again in gametangial. So in gametangial contact, the male is called antheridium and female is called oogon. Right? So let's talk about that. Right. So suppose that there is a hive. Now this process will take place in same. So this is mycelium or hypha. Mycelium. Let's say it's mycelium. So this is a female sex organ, and this female sex organ is very larger in shape. This is called egg or oogon. So this female sex organ, this is called oogon. Oogonium will have a nucleus. In the same branch, along with the oogonium, formation of a male sex organ will take. This male sex organ will be in contact of this female sex. This male sex organ, it is called antheridium. During the sexual reproduction, what will happen? Antheridium will produce a tube-like structure. And with the help of this tube-like structure, it drops this nucleus into the female oogonium, right? So, and this is called conjugation bridge. Conjugation bridge, right? And after that, the formation of zygospore will take place, right? So there are two methods of the sexual reproduction. First one is the somatic contact or somatic fusion or cell fusion. Second one is called gametangial contact, right? So this was the. Tell me, guys, is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Clear to both of you? Fine. Uh, okay, great. So let's discuss with the how the sexual reproduction takes place in ascomycetes. Try to understand from this diagram. I told you when fusion of mycelium will take place, what will happen? The dikaryotic structure will be formed. Is that clear or not? This till this point, dikaryotic structure. Remember, just I discussed with you in somatic fusion. So secondary mycelium will have dikaryotic structure. This both of dikaryotic nucleus will fuse, right?
Yes, sir.
In dikaryotic, this dikaryotic structure, right? In dikaryotic structure, what will happen? Karyogamy will take place. What is the karyogamy? Karyogamy is the process of fusion of nucleus, right? Karyo means nucleus and gamy means fusion, right? So this is nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion. Both of the nucleus will fuse. This is N haploid, this is N. So what will happen now? This will become 2N diploid. Now what will happen? Meiosis will take place. In meiosis is called reduction division, right? Number of the chromosome will again become half, and in meiosis from one cell one nucleus formation of 4 nucleus will take place, right? So I have told you either the escus will have four escospore, or sometime again mitosis, most of the time in fact again mitosis takes place, and from these four formation of 8 nucleus takes place. These 8 nucleus get converted into small spore called ascospore, and they are the haploid spore, right? And the body which cover these spore are called ascus, right? So number of ascospore will be either 4, right here, either 4, or they will be 8, right? So 4 genetically distinct nuclei and 4 pair of genetically distinct nucleus formation will take place. Tell me, these are the ascospores. So did you got this sexual reproduction in ascomycetes? Ask me if you have any doubt.
So could you just revise what you said?
Sorry.
Could you just revise what you said?
Okay, you want me to revise it? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute. Let me do something. Give me 1 second. Yes, oh my. Mashallah. That is not a good time. Give me 1 second. I'll try to show you if I have the diagram, I'll try to show you the life cycle of the ascomycetes, right? Then you will get more clarity. Give me just 1 second. Okay. Fine. Try to understand more clearly. Look, this is life cycle of ascomycetes. Let me make it more larger, right? So, and what happened? Now we are talking both type of the reproduction have been given over here: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction, right? So in sexual and asexual reproduction, both kind of the reproduction, uh, the somatic fusion type of the thing I have already told you that somatic fusion takes place, and now here this one, look. So there is a antheridium and ascogonium, oogonium, right? So antheridium and oogonium, both fuses. So after the fusion of antheridium and oogonium, formation of a dikaryotic hypha will take place. Is it clear? There is a one red color nucleus, there another green color. So there are two different nucleus. Both of the nucleus fuses, right? When both of this is the dikaryotic hypha. Try to understand. When both of the nucleus fuses, formation of a diploid ascus takes place, right? So this is karyogamy takes place. Karyo means nucleus and gamy means fusion. Both get fuses. This is called karyogamy. Nucleus fusion takes place. After that, meiosis takes place. So what happened with the meiosis? In the meiosis, formation of one nucleus will break down into four nucleus. But all these four nucleus will be haploid nucleus. Four haploid nucleus. And here, what is that? One nucleus, but this is diploid nucleus. Is it clear or not? Tell me first. Then I will go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
So my life cycle, right?
Sorry?
So my, how do you say it?
How does it take place? Do you have idea about the mitosis or meiosis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Evolution.
So in meiosis, what will happen? In meiosis, one nucleus will break down into four nucleus.
Yeah.
And meiosis is a reductional division, right? So
Yes, sir.
from one diploid nucleus, formation of four haploid nucleus will take place. Clear? So inside
Yes,
this body, four nucleus will be formed. Clear? Then again, the mitosis will take place. We know in the mitosis, from one cell for one nucleus, formation of two nucleus take place. So how many total nucleus will be formed? Total 8 nucleus will form, 8 haploid nucleus. Clear?
yes, sir.
So that's why I told that normally the ascospores are 8 in number, right? And this outer covering, this structure is called ascus. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
This is called ascus cup. So this is the cup shaped fungi. When this ascus will rupture, number of the ascospore will spread. Each ascospore will germinate. Now ascospore will, what will happen? They will germinate. Due to germination of ascospore, formation of mycelia will take place. Again, the fusion of mycelia takes place. Dikaryotic hypha will fuse, and like life cycle. Tell me, is it clear? Life cycle of ascus. Ascomycetes. Tell me, guys, is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So great. Yasir, is it okay? Nabiha and Yasir, is it clear? That's it. That's good. It's clear to you. So this was the ascomycete, and there are some example. Let me give you example. This fungus class is very important. Okay, great. If all of you are getting this, so I'm happy with that, because the fungi is a bit complex thing. If somebody says that he or she is not getting, then it's okay, because it's not that much interesting. But we have to study it because it is being asked in medical examinations, in your civics examinations, all that, right? Then example. Some of the example we have already discussed. So that is the yeast. Yeast is unicellular fungus that we know, that we have discussed, right? And It is used in baking industry. Baking industry. Heavy use of yeast. Baking industry. Brewery. I have told you. It is used in brewing. Means making alcohol and all that, right? And then aspergillus. Aspergillus. Aspergillus is also a fungus from the Ascomycetes. It yield alcohol. So in alcohol formation, it is used alcohol production. Yield alcohol, right? Then penicillium. Antibiotic production. So antibiotic production takes place, right? So these three names you need to remember. Go through with it and ask me if you have any doubt, right? Then we will start the last part, that is the Basidiomycetes. And Basidiomycetes, that mushroom is, or agaricus, that is called, that we call commonly mushroom. That is the member of this Basidiomycetes, and you will get the right. Hope it should be clear to all of you. Go through with it again, all the point, and tell me
So
if you have. Yes.
can you slide down?
Sorry, Shara.
Can you slide down? I need to write.
More.
Yeah. The thing you wrote.
Any doubt in this one?
No, sir, I need to write.
Okay, fine. Please write it down.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. So should we start Basidiomycetes, the last part of the fungi? Okay. So last but not the least, class Basidiomycetes. This is called club fungi. You know, the mushroom look like club. Big club. So Basidiomycetes, it is represented by a mushroom that is called Agaricus compastris. So let me show you the diagram of mushroom. That is Agaricus, and the life cycle of Agaricus I'll try to show. So you will come to know. Right? So Basidiomycetes is also known as the Basidium, right? So what is that fungi Agaricus life. Agaricus. Basidium. Fine. So normally the fungi, which you whenever you think about the fungi, the picture which comes in your mind, that is Agaricus caprastis, means mushroom. Right? Commonly, it is known as the mushroom. So that is the representative member of this fungi, Basidiomystes. Right. So this is basically the diagram of mushroom. Right. And rather than calling it mushroom again and again, I would like to call it here Agaricus campestris. Right? So let me tell you what is the Agaricus campestris, what is mushroom, how does it work, and what are the sexual organs. It have the gills, right? So gills are the reproductive body. They are not meant for the look. So this is cap. This is the gills. So don't confuse with the gills of the fishes, gills of the some aquatic animals. Basically, gills are a reproductive body. They are reproductive bodies, right? And these are the spores. So basically, it is called as the basidiomystes because these spores are called basidiospores. Basidiospore. And there is this is a stalk, and this is made up of hyphae. It's underground hyphae, right? And the name of this fungus, which is representative member or mushroom, this is called mushroom. So now, whenever you will eat the mushroom, you will remember that basically this is Agaricus campestris. Agaricus campestris. Simply, you can call it Agaricus as well, right? And this is mushroom. And why it is a member of Basidiomystes, I have already told you. Mushroom which you eat, that is a button shaped structure. So look, try to understand. Uh, this is the button stage. So this is the young stage. You eat at the young stage. What happened? Advancement of the button stage. Sometime you must have seen you bring the mushroom at your home, and sometime they mature and a black color structure appears to you. The black color structure which appears to you, they are the gills basically, and they are reproductive body, right? You must have seen this. Have you feel this thing? Seen this thing or not? This experiment with mushroom, right? So this is the adventure at the advancement of what happened. This rupture, this membrane rupture, and this membrane is known as the well or velum. This is known as the velum. VELLUM, velum, right? When this velum rupture, it become like this way, right? And the rupture part, it remains over here. And this is the mushroom. What happened? These are the gills, and these are the structure of the gills, right? So inside the gills, so what happens? Suppose that this is the gills, right? So inside the gills, there are basidium, and basidium. Every basidia have four basidiospore. That is basidiospore. So every basidia have four basidios, right? And these basidiospore fell down, they germinate, and formation of again mushroom takes place. The same thing have been represented over here. Try to understand. This is the this one is called uh, that is uh, gills, right? And inside the gills, these are the structure. So this is called hymenium, and the last part that means this is the basidium, and basidium contain this basidiospore, right? Basidiospore. These basidiospore, they don't use this diagram. Basically, it's written in French. It's not written in English. The labeling is not in English actually, so don't use this diagram. Remove this diagram. Try to understand from here only, right? So this was the life cycle of the mushroom. So did you got the life cycle? How does it take place? So every basidium have 4 basidiospore. That thing you need to remember, right? Number of ascospore can be 4 or 8, but number of the basidiospore on basidium will be 4 only, right? Now let me discuss with you the general character. They are the This is the important question. Whatever the important question will be, I will make the star. They are the best. Basidiomycetes are called best decomposer. Why? Because other than basidiomycetes, bacteria, virus, and all that, they cannot eat the wood. Only basidiomycetes can destroy the wood. Right? They are the best decomposer because they have capability to decompose the wood. They have the capability to decompose the wood, right? Motile cells or a structure means spores are absent. Motile cells or spores are absent. Again, there are 2 types of the mycelia. You will come to know. There are 2 types of mycelium. Primary mycelium. Primary mycelium contain monokaryotic cell, right? So first there will be primary mycelium. We have discussed that thing. Primary mycelium contain monokaryotic cell and secondary mycelium will have dikaryotic cell. Means secondary mycelium will have 2 nucleus, right? So they are called dikaryotic. So there are 2 types of the mycelium. Now sexual reproduction. Next, very important, primary mycelium. Primary mycelium multiply asexually by conidia formation. Conidia I have already told you. Remember? By conidia formation. I have already told you conidia 2 times, like in the previous 2 classes, right? In the even in the Ascomystis, we have discussed that what is the conidia. Conidia formation. Then second one, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction does not involve any
What
sex
is
organ.
Candida formation?
Sorry, conidia formation. Conidia I have discussed, Martin. Just in the previous slide, I told you that the conidia and previous Ascomystis, I told you that in conidia formation, what happened? This is a horizontal mycelium, right? It's horizontal mycelium. What will happen? Uh, the vertical mycelia will grow, right? After growth of mycelia, at the top of mycelia, formation of this circular structure will take place, spherical structure will take place. And these spherical structures are called, what we call them? Conidiospore or conidia. Remember? And what is this? It is bearing conidia, so we call it conidiophore. Four means branches. The branch. Got it? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is a sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction does not involve formation of any sex organ like entheridia, oogonia, that kind of the sex organ, right? So, sexual reproduction does not involve sex organ, right? It occurs by fusion of it occurs by fusion of hypha, fusion of hypha of primary mycelium, of primary mycelium. So two hypha from the primary mycelium, they will fuse, right? And uh, formation of secondary mycelium takes place that produces basidiospore. Basidiospore. Right. We have discussed the life cycle of in above. I'll again discuss with you the same thing, right? With the different diagram. Give me 1 second. So how does the life cycle of this one, this takes place, basidiomycetes? So you will come to know. Simply the same thing which I discussed, that the primary mycelia will fuse, they will form secondary mycelia, then the karyogamy will take place, right? So look, again, the life cycle of agaricus. Here, I just want to represent the sexual reproduction part of the. So we have already discussed that this part is called pilus, and below the pilus there are gills, right? So in the gills, karyogamy takes place, right? And a diploid stage. This is the diploid stage. So here the two nucleus have already fused, and these are the diploid hypha, right? So formation of a diploid basidium takes place. On every basidium, there is the upper part is called stigma. The meiosis takes place. So inside the this is diploid basidium. So this is the diploid structure 2n. Then meiosis takes place. It is already given over here that meiosis takes place. After the meiosis, formation of 4 haploid structure will take place. These structures are called stigma. Then after at the top of the stigma, so this structure is called basidium, and at the top of the stigma there are 4 basidiospore formation will take place. I have already told you. Now what will happen? These basidiospore will fell down. After falling down on the ground, they will germinate. So they are the germinating basidiospore. These germinating basidiospore, what they will do, they will form the primary mycelium. And we have discussed that primary mycelium mycelium are always haploid structure, right? They are the haploid structure. What will happen? This is the strain one, means both should be genetically unequal, different. So this is negative, this is positive. Genetically similar type of the hypha will not fuse. So what will happen? These hypha will fuse. So plasmogamy will take place. Means plasma will fuse. Then what will happen? Dikaryotic stage formation will take place. So this dikaryotic stage means every cell will have 2 nucleus. Means dikaryotic stage is represented by n plus n. That every cell have 2 nucleus and nucleus have not fused. Right? If the both nucleus will fuse, then we will write it as 2n. Right? So these mycelia will make this structure that is called this is pilus and gills, and inside the gills these karyogamy will take place, means both of the nucleus will fuse, right? And then again the structure formation will take place. So that's how the sexual reproduction takes place in basidiomycetes. Go through with it and tell me, is it clear or not? Ask me if you have any doubt.
So understood.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. You need to remember the life cycle. That's why I have explained it differently. This is the same thing, but it is more clear over here. This is a sexual reproduction. A sexual reproduction, I told you that formation of the Gonidia will take place, right? And let me write it down one more thing. By the way, I have told you already. Basidium commonly produces 4 basidio spore, right? And primary mycelium are monokaryotic, means they will have single karyotic, right? And secondary mycelium are dikaryotic. Dikaryotic means they will have 2 nucleus n plus, right? So that is the extra information which I need to know. Now the last part is that is the example, right? Who are the member of this ascomycetes, right? Basidiomycetes, sorry, right? They are very important example. So the rust is caused by uh, Puccinia graminis. Rust is a kind of disease where the wheat become black, right? Puccinia graminis. So it causes a disease, black rust of black rust of wheat. What happened? All the wheat grain become dark black carbon-like structure, and it vanished the crop of the. It is very dangerous disease. It vanished the crop of the uh, complete this one wheat, right? Then another disease is called smut. Smut is a disease that is caused by astilago. Right? So smut disease, it affect the corn plant, right? And mushroom is also example. Mushroom is edible fungi, and the name of mushroom is Agaricus compastris, right? Agaricus compastris.
Where do
Deuteromycetes,
we need,
right? Sorry.
so do we need to remember all these scientific names?
Yeah, you need to remember whatever I have written on the screen, because I write on the screen only when this is very important. Else I never write. Okay. So whatever I have written in the screen, try to understand this is very important. I never put the unnecessary information or extra information. I just keep things very specific. Because they are very important, and it will be very helpful for you for many exams. This was all about the uh, fungi. Go through with it and tell me. Uh, Kingdom Plantae and Animalia have been treated in differently as a different chapter, right? The next thing which I will discuss with you, that will be virus, viroid, and lichen, right? That I will discuss with you. And as you know that Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae and Animalia, they have been separated at different chapters. So go through with your fungi in your NCRT in next 5 minutes and let me know if you have any doubt. Uh, then I will discuss discuss the practice questions which I have given to you as assignment. And in the next class we'll start virus and all that, right?
Sir, have you taught deuteromycin?
Sorry.
Have you taught deuteromycin?
Deuteromycetes. Have you doubt in deuteromycetes?
I
We have
mean,
covered first.
have you,
Yeah, we have covered first deuteromycetes. This one. First, we have covered deuteromycetes, right? Then oomycetes, then zygo, then esco, and then basidio, right? One, I think zygo is missing in this NCERT. So we have
yes,
discussed.
sir.
Yeah, I think zygo is missing in NCERT book. I have that NCERT book. So zygomycetes is missing over here. Yes, Pico, Esco, Basidio, and Deutero. Zygomycetes is this, right? We have covered all the five. This out of this classification, right? Here, Deutero, Esco, Zygo, Deutero, or Oomycetes, Zygomycetes, Escomycetes, and Basidiomycetes. Go through with it and tell me if you have it in doubt.
Sir, what is co-anocytic?
Sorry,
Co-anocytic.
your voice is not clear to me. What is co?
Co-anocytic.
Can you text
Should
me?
I? Yes.
Yeah, please. Hey, that is xenocytic condition. This one we have discussed. Look, when I started with the fungi, right? So look, I told you that hypha are of this one. They may be septate. So septate hypha, they are called uninucleate hypha. Then partially septate, they are also uninucleate. When there are aseptate hypha, septa is not there. So this is, there are multinucleate condition. Means aseptate hypha, when septa is not there, then will be multiple nucleus. This condition is called xenocytic condition, right? Clear?
Yes.
Xenocytic condition. So when single cell have multiple nucleus, we will call it xenocytic condition.
That's
Martin, all clear?
Yes, sir.
Chidika, all clear? Yasir, Nabiha, I want response from all of you, right? Everybody, tell me if clear. Then I'll go ahead. Okay. Still, I suggest you go through with it, right? Again from the PVT, and still, if you have any doubt, ask me. But at least you have to go through with these PPT 4 or 5 times. Then you will come to know that what is the fungi. You must have while teaching fungi, you must have came to know that this is a bit complex. Not too complex. It's a bit complex. I have tried to explain you in the more easier way, right? And then come to the. I have given you an assignment in the last class. So assignment was that I told you that you have to do this one. What is that? Fungi part. This kingdom fungi. So eukaryotic achlorophyllus means which do not have chlorophyll. Heterotrophic means which do not make their own food. Organism are grouped under which of the following kingdom?
fungi.
Fungi, right? Because fungi cannot make their own food. They do not have chlorophyll and they are eukaryotic as well, right? Then xenocytic mycelium, just I told you. What is the xenocytic mycelium?
Nucleate. C.
Multinucleate
Septate.
aseptate, right? So second, the answer of the second, it's not here. It should be there. Second C is right. So the main component of cell wall of fungi is
Chitin.
Very good. Chitin, right? Chitin. Chitin is a type of complex carbohydrate. Clear? Then
Yes, sir.
fungi show asexual reproduction by all of the following kind of the spore except Conidia, sporangiosspore, zoospore. What is oospore? Oospore is not sexual spore. Remember, it is sexual spore, right? It's a female part of sexual spore, right? So answer will be B. Sexual reproduction in the fungi occurs by all of following except oospore, ascospore, zoospore, basidiospore.
Two
What is that?
spores.
Spore.
Zoospores, right? There is sexual spore. Fungi lacking the cross wall in the mycelium belongs to the class
Deuteromyces.
Deuteromyces. Acceptate fungi.
D.
What should be? The answer of 6-1 is A. Phycomycetes. Look, try to Phycomycetes. Oh, Phycomycetes. Just a minute. Give me one second. Phycomycetes. Yes, it's there. Should be there. Classification. Look, this Phycomycota, the mycelium where they are mycelium are septate, we call them Phycomycota or Phycomycetes. Clear? Where the mycelium is septate, where the mycelium is septate, we call Phycomycota or Phycomycetes. Same thing, right? And where the mycelium is septate, we call them Eumycota. Clear? Phycomycota are also known as the algal fungi. Clear? That thing also you need to remember. Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Again, come to the assignment. So those which do not have cross wall means those which do not have septa, they belongs to Phycomycetes. Wonder drug, penicillium extracted from the following species of the penicillium. Where? Penicillium notatum. I told you. The first penicillin medicine that was means first antibiotic of the world was extracted by penicillium plant, and the name of this plant is Penicillium notatum. That's why I was telling you, right? The term used for close ascocar.
What is that?
What do we call that? D. Clistothecium. That you need to remember. Clisto means close. Basically, clisto means close. Which of the following statement incorrect about the class Deuteromycetes? They reproduce only by asexual spore. Mycelium of fungi branches are aseptate. They have only parasitic form. C should be the answer. Yes, C is the wrong. Right. So this was the assignment. Simple questions were simple. And ask me if you have any doubt. And in next class, I will start with the lichen, virus, and then we'll go ahead with that. Ask me if you have any doubt. Then we'll finish over here.
So it's the chapter biomolecules.
Sorry, Sarah. Yes.
Is the chapter biomolecules? Is it having any math stuff?
Maths? No. Mathematical. Nothing is mathematical over there. Nothing is mathematical.
In full bio, is there?
Yeah, it's purely biological question, a biological big chapter, right? Nothing is mathematical. Nothing it have to do with the chemistry as well, right? Even you won't have chemical structure over there. Just you have to remember some the structure of some like ATP, ADP, and all that, right? So and even that is not difficult. When we will discuss it, you will come to know it's not that much difficult. As much it seems difficult in your NCERT. That we need to understand, right? Okay, guys, no doubt.
No, sir.
Fine. So see you in next class. Revise fungi, right? And Yeah, you may leave, right? Okay. So bye bye.
Okay,
Take
sir.
care. Good night.